I've had several members of our audience and Tom send me this really great interview that was done by Uprising Radio. And what they did is they interviewed a woman by the name of Gail Dines. And she is a scholar, a sociologist, and she wrote a book titled Pornland, How Porn Has Hijacked Our Sexuality. Okay.
What did it do with it once it hijacked it?
No, this is actually a really serious interview.
Okay, then I got to get serious. Okay. Because I don't want them being, doing naughty things to my sexuality.
No, okay, first of all, you have to agree, like both of us, whenever we talk about porn, it's usually positive. We're not judgmental toward people who watch porn or like porn or buy porn. It's none of my business and I don't care. But what's really interesting is she focuses on all the negative aspects of porn that we've all suspected is there, but we've never really delved into it.
All right, well, let's hit it.
Okay, so she talks about capitalism and how that affects porn, right?
Okay.
And how, as men, or most men, they'll watch porn. Let's say they watch porn on a weekly basis. Okay. The more and more they watch it, the more and more they become desensitized for it. Okay. Or desensitized to it. So then they'll want something that's more hardcore, or something that's better, something that's dirtier, something that's raunchier.
Yeah.
Okay? And because of that, that leads to the brutalization of women in porn.
Yeah. Okay, not buying it. Okay, does it happen? Of course it does. So I'm not disputing that. But just because somebody can carry something to its extreme doesn't mean that we shouldn't have it at all. Yeah, sometimes people binge drink and they die, right? That's terrible. Does that mean we shouldn't allow alcohol? We tried that before, it didn't really work, right? Sometimes people will speed over 100 miles an hour and will crash and kill people.
Right.
Should we ban driving? Because, well, once you drive 80, you want to drive 90. Once you drive 90, you want to drive 100, right? So I'm not buying that argument.
I know, but her focus wasn't on like fringe porn or something. She focused on mainstream porn. What you'll find as soon as you search porn on Google.
Okay, what is it?
Mainstream porn. Anyway, she, in this interview, she talked about all of the physical things that happen to women that are in this porn industry, okay? And I want to read you what her answer was, okay? So she says, I've interviewed somebody who worked with AIM, the healthcare organization that takes care of the health of porn performers, and he was telling me just what happens to the bodies of these women. For example, he said one of the big things are anal prolapses, where literally their anuses drop out of their bodies and have to be sewn back in because of the brutal anal sex. He also talked about gonorrhea of the eye, and the latest thing, because you have something called ass to mouth, they put their penis in the anus and then in her mouth without washing. They're finding now that women are getting fecal bacteria infections in their mouth and throat.
First of all, of course, and I've always wondered about that. Because, look, the part she's right about, the person that Anna's talking about, is that, yeah, I've seen porn over the last 3 decades, right? I've been following it for intellectual reasons, obviously. And it's gotten dirtier and dirtier. And now it's like standard to do all the things that they just discussed. Well, that's obvious. Well, how are you going to do a porn without doing ass to mouth? Right?
It's disgusting.
And it is. And I don't know why that's they assume now that all guys want to see that. We don't, right? And I always think Jesus, it doesn't look like there's an edit in there. I hope they washed it in between. I mean, maybe I'm being too goody two pants or whatever. Goody two pants? What the hell is that? Anyway, goody two shoes about this whole thing. But I was worried about them, and it turns out, of course they're not washing it. And of course it's going to get bacteria in your mouth. So, look, I mean, if they want to help the women that are in porn fight some of those practices, I hear them. And nobody's in favor of gonorrhea of the eye, right?
That sounds so awful.
Right. But at the same time, it's like they're in this industry where, unfortunately, you are using your body, right? It's kind of like the NFL. You use your body, and then, the average NFL player dies at the age of 55? It's unbelievable. Because they abuse their bodies so badly that not just their anus, but everything falls out. And then they die, right? And we don't talk about that, but we enjoy that. Hey, we like football, et cetera, right? And so this is the downside of porn. And she's totally valid in bringing it up. It doesn't mean you don't do porn, though.
No, look, I'm not, you know me, I'm not an advocate for banning porn, okay?
Right.
I don't care for porn personally, but I don't mind people watching it. It's, like I said, none of my business. But what I like about this is it brings up the dark side of porn, and it also brings the question of, should we do something to regulate it more so women aren't brutalized like this? Should there be some sort of limit so we can't get raunchier and dirtier? Like, raunchy and dirty doesn't matter to me either, but so women don't get hurt. Okay, is there something we can do to make sure that we protect the health of women or porn performers?
The only thing I'll go is, first of all, I'm not even having a conversation about censoring porn. Is there a limit? And then you're going to have somebody come in. Obviously, there are some limits we can do, child pornography, right, et cetera, right? So that we get that, right? But once you get into, well, I don't like that position, and whoa, watch it, don't go over there because you might give her gonorrhea of the eye. No, I'm not into that kind of government regulation. At the same time, if there are better health standards, I mean, there are health standards at restaurants. There's no reason not to have health standards in a porn shoot where obviously you have these health issues. That I'm in favor of. I got no problems with that. It'll cost the porn producers a little bit more money, so they will,
They won't like it.
They won't like it, right? But sad day, that's part of the cost of doing business, to make sure that your employees are healthy. Make sense?
Yes, that makes sense.
Agreement. That's how we do it on TYT.